Dr. Jaishankar, how do you see the weaponization of things that were intended to be global goods like Swift or social media or telecom? Do you think that undermines trust in these institutions? And does it push India then to explore alternatives, perhaps homegrown ones?
Well, there are different ways of dealing with weaponization. One is to stay on the right side of the weapon. So, you don't get hit, others do. Uh, but the look, here's the reality. Uh, the world today makes business decisions, factoring in national security in a manner in which it did not do so before, especially in the digital era. And two of them here, in fact, all of them here, in some way, have are deeply involved in that. In the digital era, I think it's not just about cost; it is about comfort. It is about trust. So, if you are today looking at this serious, at a strategic level, the business conversations, you keep hearing resilience, reliability, trust, transparency. So you want to do business more and more with those with whom you are secure. And your earlier point that everybody has, every partner offers some risks. Yes, but you would rather take the risks with those where your interests are not contradictory, then the risks are not that great, rather than those with whom your interests could clash or do clash. So, I would argue today that countries, in a way, need a kind of a macro business strategy. And certainly, when you look at India, when we look at the world today, we see, we are involved right now in three big trade negotiations with the EU, with the UK, and now with the United States. These are our growth markets. These are our technology partners. This is where people go for education. This is where people go for tourism. These are, in many ways, our connectivity partners. They are our strategic partners. So, when we make choices, it's no longer just efficiency and cost. I think there are non economic factors which I think increasingly influence business decisions. Sometimes you can be put in a situation where we say, let me devise something alternative because that is a compulsion of the day. But I would argue that's an aberration rather than than some kind of strategic desire to replace a particular system. I mean, if we can make the current system work for us, it's the smarter thing to do.
Right. Before I open it to the audience, I want to ask you one last question, and this is something that we've discussed internally as well. You see, foreign policy was designed to deal with countries, but today companies are sometimes more powerful than countries. For instance, you have Elon Musk and Starlink. With one flip of the switch, they can change the course of the war in Ukraine. Do you think foreign policy then needs to evolve, or do you leave it to regulators and financial institutions?
No, one, historically, that's not entirely the case. I would remind you of a company called East India Company, which became so big. Uh, but it's a valid point. I mean, the market cap of many companies today would probably entitle some of them, I don't know, maybe even to be part of the G20. Uh, so this is again a reality we have to deal with. So sometimes, you deal with them in tandem with the government. Sometimes you deal with them directly, but you have to deal with them. I mean, this is the necessity in my business.
Right. We'll open it to the audience. We can take a couple of questions, I suppose.
Ma'am, here.
Ma'am,
Whoever
this
gets
side.
the mic.
Ma'am, this side.
Greetings. I am Bhavna here at the left side.
Yes.
Yes. My question is to Dr. S. Jaishankar, sir. Sir, as economic warfare reshapes global power structure, how is India leveraging its diplomatic and economic strengths to not only mitigate these strategies and pressures, but also emerge as a key architect of a more balanced and a resilient global order? Thank you.
In a way, I had addressed some of that, which is we have global interest today. If you look at our key trade partners, they're spread all over the world. They are very diverse. So, just like we have a way of working with different countries politically, we obviously do the same economically. But again, I stress that all countries are not the same. And the digital era will bring out that differential more sharply. At the end of the day, it does matter where our data goes. Who looks at our data, who processes it, who develops the AI based on our data. We can't be agnostic in the digital era. So it's not the same as the manufacturing era. In the manufacturing era, beyond a point, it didn't matter where the product came from. You can't extrapolate that proposition into the digital era. So I would argue that the answer to your question would be like portfolio management, you diversify it as much as you can. But at the end of the day, there will be comforts, there will be the reliability factor, there will be issues of trust. And that is why some of these FTAs we are engaged with today with the EU, with UK, USA matter so much.
Uh, Greetings, Dr. Jaishankar. Over here, towards right. Towards right. Over here. Uh, Hello, my name is Shreyas. I work as a business analyst at Deloitte, and I have a question to you, Dr. Jaishankar. Considering the fact that United States is pulling out of organizations like WHO, Paris Agreement, do you think they're trying to establish a new world order? And if yes, what role can India play in being the leader of global South?
I think if your question is what the US is doing, you should ask the Americans, not me. If you ask me what we should be doing,
Yeah.
I mean, we should be doing many things, including engaging the Americans and engaging the global South. Our strategy is pretty, I mean, it's been discussed in other sessions, it's pretty obvious. But our effort is really to really maximize our options to, since I'm on a business panel, to increase our turnover, to improve our technology. And we are on a strong growth trajectory. And as a business, as a country which has decades of growth ahead, that's what we should be planning for. Now, different countries will make decisions, that's their prerogative. We have to factor it in while making our calculations. I can't tell some other country that don't do this because it's not convenient to me. That's their call, not mine.